recently got an arcade machine in our Institute of Digital Games, and we revamped it to make it a Pico-8 machine. We installed a bunch of games, and for a while it was fine. However, we soon discovered that my colleagues and I are actually very competitive when it comes to extremely trivial stuff. For example, one of the games that we had installed was BAS, Birds and Saws or whatever. A pretty fun game, not gonna lie. Pretty difficult for me. I managed to score a maximum of 100 something, 120 points, and then another colleague of mine broke the 200, and then someone else broke the 600. You know I'm talking about you, Matt, right? I had to think of a way to get to 600, and then I gave up. I hope you're happy. So I set myself a goal this Christmas vacation to write a shitty program that plays bass as badly as I do. I am far from being able to code a superhuman agent, especially when the program itself runs on fucking JavaScript, because Pico 8. So my initial goal was to just be able to display this shit on Python, and I have some knowledge on how to use Qt. So I basically got Qt to display the game. Pretty self-explanatory. One nice thing about Pico 8 is that it generates a nice little embedding HTML. I can just pass it and then voila, I have a game on a Qt application. It's very bad, I know. Anyways, the next thing I wanted to do was to actually be able to play it. I initially thought, oh, I could just look at the coordinates of the chicken. I forgot that the chicken moves. So I just set up to every 100 something milliseconds, check the a range of pixels and check the colors. If they match the chicken, then I know it's on the left or on the right according to whether I'm scanning the right side or the left side of the screen. I optimize this further to just look at through a single column of pixels. Here's an image that shows exactly what I'm doing. Once I got that, I need to know whether I was about to go through spikes or not. Before that, I wanted to at least check if I were able to move the player. The way key presses are handled in the web engine view for Qt is not very clear. I tried a bunch of stuff. In the end, I installed a new library that I never heard of, but Google recommended it, so why the fuck not? PyInput, to actually simulate a proper keyboard presses. It works. I have some delays, obviously, because you cannot press a keyboard and release it instantaneously. The game will just think you didn't press it, I assume. I don't know. So I set just a 10 milliseconds delay between pressing the key and releasing the key, and that actually worked. The next thing I needed to do was actually check whether I was about to jump into a spike. Now the spikes can either be above me or on the other side of where I'm about to jump. So just four combinations. Shouldn't be too difficult, right? It actually really wasn't. Once I had that, it was just a matter of letting the game run, and obviously it's going to work just fine. Yeah, that didn't happen. As much as we would like to have a response exactly when the player is at the wall and ready to make an action, we don't know when that is because we don't have access to the actual game engine. So We just sample and hopefully we are on the right moment. That almost never happens. So some of the buffers are basically wasted because we cannot take an action in that time. So what to do then? Well, you oversample and then hope that you can just delay it enough to not double press keys or waste more time. This is tedious. I hated doing that, but I wanted to do it to get a score that is at least mine, which was about 120, and I got this score in the end. Which is still quite shit compared to the 600. But honestly, I'm okay. This was a fun little afternoon of wasting my time and proving to myself that machines are still far away from. No, no, I'm just a bad coder. That's what it is. Also, I didn't want to waste time. There are different ways you can do this actually. You can actually get specific pixel ranges or single specific pixel points, pixel coordinates to sample colors from. You can be much faster. Another thing that you could do is check whether the player is actually ready to take an action and not waste time pressing keys that will be ignored. You can also just inject JavaScript code, honestly, to play this fucking game. I don't know why I went with this computer vision route. I don't know why I expected this to be like a reinforcement learning environment. It isn't. That's all. See you next time.